Kids is because when I was a kid, my mom used to have me open up the childproof caps for her.
Welcome back to Some Offense Intended. Mike's telling me about how his backpack opens childproof caps.
Yes, yes, it does.
I thought it'd be a nice, different start.
It would start, yeah. I didn't realize it started, obviously.
I'm Jeremy Robinson.
I'm Mike Mick.
And we're recording back to back because Mike's going to be at Disneyland.
Yeah.
When this one comes out.
Yes.
Or when we would normally record it.
Yeah, but I should be coming back next Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, we're leaving early in the morning Wednesday. I don't know what time we're gonna get back though.
You're gonna be gone for a week?
We leave Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And well, technically it's gonna be Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Drive all the way there, spend the whole day at the park. And then we have a place at the Hyatt that we're staying at.
Nice.
We're fancy.
Yeah.
I've seen some pictures. It's the Hyatt. The place.
Regency.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, so we were talking about Star Wars books last time, so I went and got a couple of them off the shelf. The ones I was telling Mike about that I really liked.
I'm going to enjoy every one of those, I'm sure of it.
Tales of the Bounty Hunters, which I like a lot because it goes into Dengar, the guy with the Band-Aid on his head.
Yeah.
And gives a lot of backstory. It's like he has the bandages on his head because he's basically doing like cybernetic implants. Nice. Of how to become a better bounty hunter, like how to be more, like how to compete better. Because like IG-88 was an assassin droid that gained sentience.
Yeah.
And I think that's in this too, of like his start. And then Bosk, the Trandoshan, and I don't remember what the other guy's name is, but it was really good. So that's a lot of backstory on the bounty hunters that they just show in, what is it, Empire Strikes Back, of like, go find him.
Yeah.
And that's all that they do, is just show them. So that's a lot of backstory that's really fucking cool. Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, that's what it sounds like, because it's a hub for all kinds of scum and villainy.
I was going to say, yeah, the cantina, just the small bit of what we saw in Star Wars there was quite a bit going on in there.
Yeah, so it's like stories that are swapped there and like a bunch of different characters that were in that briefly. What's his name? The Rhodian that Greedo.
Yeah, I was going to say Greedo. I was going to ask about Greedo.
There's some Greedo stories in there. There's some it's that one like spy species that has like the long is the noise they make.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a story of them in there.
Nice.
Tales from the Empire. I don't remember a lot of that one, but I remember I liked all of them.
Yeah.
Tales from Jabba's Palace was really fucking good.
See, I kind of think that I'll enjoy that one.
And then there's Tales from the New Republic that I don't remember. It's dark in my room. I didn't feel like fucking digging through all the books.
Yeah. It's just, you get a little more background into some of the characters from Star Wars that you might not get if you don't get the books.
Yeah, and
I like that.
Why it's kind of frustrating where Disney took all of the movies, because they're like, oh, well, I think even one of them said,
we don't have anything to go by.
Yeah, we don't have anything to go. Bro, there is fucking hundreds of hours.
So many hours of books. And yeah.
That you could do. So.
Like, you could go to fan fiction and find some good shit to work with. Like
this one's Darth Bane, Dynasty of Evil. It's an Old Republic novel. But what they started doing in a lot of the books that's fucking awesome is they have a timeline.
Nice.
Based around the movies that tells you like when the books are. So if you want to read them in chronological order, you can. That's
cool.
That's one of the reasons I stopped reading Star Wars books, is I wanted to get all of them and then read it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
But they started coming out with so fucking many books.
So many. I know. I remember looking into the books a long time ago and thinking, damn. And just like you look at the shelves and you're like, well, where do I start?
Yeah. So like it starts all the way 5,000 years before A New Hope, and it's Lost Tribe of the Sith. There's 3 books. Then the Darth Bane series is 1,000 years before A New Hope. And then it jumps to like 33 years before Darth Maul. There's 3 books. Episode 1, Rogue Planet was really fucking good. That's Obi-Wan trying to run like a rescue mission or something.
Yeah.
And then a couple different ones, the Clone Wars, Republic Commando books were really fucking good. And then it goes to the Han Solo Trilogy, which is really fucking good. The Paradise Snare, the Hutt Gambit, and Rebel Dawn. And then a couple random ones, and then Episode 4, Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina. A couple random ones, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which it is like canon-ish, but it started almost before Star Wars became a thing.
Yeah.
That's really fucking good as a short book. Tales of Bounty Hunters, Shadows of the Empire, and then Return of the Jedi, and then Tales from Jabba's Palace, Empire, New Republic. And then also, I want to say, it's either Jabba's Palace or Tales of the Bounty Hunters talks about Boba Fett escaping from the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
So like that story's in there. That's really fucking good.
Yeah. I want to see that.
It goes through X-Wing Rogue Squadron. The whole X-Wing trilogy is fucking pretty immense too. Like follows the whole like Republic fight and like after the whole battle's over and like where each of them go kind of thing. And then the Thrawn trilogy that you were talking about, the last book of that we were talking about is The Last Command. The Jedi Academy trilogy is really fucking good. Jedi Search, Dark Apprentice, and Champions of the Force.
I'm going to have a lot to go through.
And then it's a bunch of different ones. The Black Fleet Crisis trilogy was really good. Before the Storm, Shield of Lies,
Black Fleet, yeah,
Tyrant's
that's talked about.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, because it's lost.
Yeah,
and they're trying. Both sides are trying to get the 200 the ships. You know.
Yeah. The Corellian trilogy was pretty good. Ambush at Corellia, Assault at Salonia, and Showdown at Centerpoint. And then there's another two Thrawn books. The Hand of Thrawn duology. I think they could have figured a better word than that.
Yeah.
Duology. Spectre of the Past and Vision of the Future. And then there's the New Jedi Order, and that's its own like wild take on just everything taken off in a weird way. The Dark Nest trilogy, Legacy of the Force, and this doesn't include like Jedi Apprentice, the young adult fiction.
Yeah.
It doesn't really cover much of that, but Jedi Apprentice is before Episode 1. Young Jedi Knights is after Return of the Jedi.
I remember when I was young, my sister telling me about a Star Wars book where involving the kids of Leia.
Yep. That's the Young Jedi Knights. Really fucking good. I think it's 15? No. That one I think is 6 books. The Jedi Apprentice is 16 or 20 books.
I remember, but then I look at the movies and I'm like, okay, the book I'm listening to now, Leia is pregnant with twins.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, they had the one kid in the movie.
Yeah, that's, like I said, I wasn't impressed. And I know I've seen all 3 of the new trilogy, but I don't remember much of most of them because it's like I've seen Fast and the Furious 8, I think 3 or 4 times now. And I'm like, I don't think I've seen this one. And then I'll start watching it and I'm like, this seems familiar. And then by the time I finish it, I'm like, I've definitely seen this before and now I know why I blocked it out. Then it just starts over.
See, I've not seen Fast, what if they call it Fast and the Furious 8 or Fast 8 or whatever they call it, because I think they're not as furious anymore because I think they dropped the furious part and it's just fast, whatever.
I think
they're just fast now.
8 is called Fate of the Furious.
All right, so they were still furious then.
Yeah.
But I saw the first one and I saw a little bit of the one before they went to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I saw I remember they were doing the race and one of the kids, the rich kid in the race, the actor who played him was on what was it? Home Improvement. He was one of the kids on Home Improvement with the Tool Man.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like the beginning of Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. Well, they're racing and they crash into a house that's being built.
Yeah, that's Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, but it's just the actor being the kid from that, I just thought that was interesting because I hadn't seen him in anything for a while. And that movie comes out and I see the beginning and I mean, I'm not saying he was a lot in that because he didn't go to Tokyo also.
Yeah, no. And then Fast 9 was really but 10 was awful. 10.1 because there's going to be 3 of them.
Oh,
10.
yeah.
I watched it at my brother's house. I didn't pay for it. It was frustrating and like, Jesus Christ, why do they do this?
Yeah, I'm not interested in any of them.
I really wanted to see it because Jason Momoa and
that's the only thing that I want to see it for, because the ads,
what's his face?
all of his parts look great.
Thad Castle, whoever plays Reacher, the fucking just yoked up. He played Aquaman in Smallville. I don't remember his fucking name.
I don't know.
But like his part was really good. Jason Momoa's part was really weird.
So the commercial they just showed the best parts that he had, apparently.
It must have been because like it was like he was trying to play some like metrosexual like take on a Johnny Depp character mixed with like 3 other people. It was weird.
I don't know.
Like
I haven't seen it.
He wasn't sure if he wanted to be like friends with everybody, flirt with everybody, be a psychopath. Like there's one scene that's like, okay, yeah, so he's playing a psychopathic character.
All right.
But it's a weird thing, and it's like it's not a Jason Momoa role. It looks like he had a lot of fun with it, but it definitely isn't.
I saw clips, and he just seemed, at times he seemed really funny, and I was like, that could almost make me want to watch it.
Yeah, it was probably all the good parts were in the trailer. Let me look up what the guy's name is because it's bothering me.
But I still remember, because people criticize him, like, you're not in that good shape that you were for Aquaman, and I'd heard him say it before. He's like, I don't work out unless somebody's paying me to work out, and I thought that was great.
Yeah. Alan Richson.
Doesn't ring a bell.
He's this guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen him in. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said Thad Castle, I should have thought of.
Yeah, Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, at first I didn't.
Yeah,
but I actually thought about watching that again recently.
It's so good. We started watching it, at Nate's house.
I just wish they didn't. I wish they could have finished. But they had contract disputes. Actually, I think he was one of the problems with the contract.
But he broke out of his typecasting because he was typecasted into like a frat boy, just dumb jock, and he like Reacher was a fucking massive breakout for him.
But he was so good in Blue Mountain State.
Yeah,
I would like to see in like a last season. That movie they made was not good.
No, but it was to like try to finish it off and like give a send off.
I was hoping they were going to have a senior season where he was going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, it was a really enjoyable series.
Oh, I loved it.
But his role in Smallville, like he kind of jockey, like kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Almost the same, just less humor because he wasn't supposed to be the main character. I feel like that's the only thing that held him back. But like, he was really good in Smallville also. Yeah. He was Aquaman in Smallville.
I'm thinking of him in Blue Mountain State when he...
The Oreo?
No. I was thinking the Oreo, I know, but no, the pocket pussy. He lost his pocket pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
My dad gave it to me. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good fucking show. And I think he was in something else recently too. Can't think of it.
I'm not sure.
Like he was good in that, but it wasn't great acting. But like he's become a really fucking good actor.
But I would like to have seen some of the other people that were in that show do some shit. Like the mascot, he was funny as fuck.
I don't know that they've been in
the quarterback.
Have they been in anything else?
No. Not that I know of.
Let's see.
And I thought they were good. At least funny.
Oh, Alan Richardson was also Raphael in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live actions.
Nice. The good ones? Yeah.
He was in Hunger Games Catching Fire.
I've never watched those movies.
Oh, they're good.
I had no interest at all.
Blah, blah, blah.
I promised one person that if I ever watched one of those movies, I'd only do it with her, and well, that's not going to happen.
Black Mirror. Here it is, Blue Mountain State. It's only a 5.7 on IMDb. Get a sense of humor.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
There was so many good things about that show.
Darren Brooks is Alex Moran. And
that was that quarterback.
He did Load faster, please. He's still doing shit.
Yeah, but
he voices somebody in The Croods. 2 episodes of Young and the Restless, The Missing Sister. A lot of like no name nothing. Couple episodes of random here and there. It says he was in 1,100 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful.
yeah, that's a soap.
Oh, okay.
So you have
There's 9,000 episodes. It's been running from 1987 till now.
Yep.
And he's been in 11. That's a lot of episodes. 1,100.
But you also have to consider that it's aired every Monday through Friday.
There's 5 episodes a week?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And they do the same thing for General Hospital. I used to watch that.
Holy shit. That's a lot. All right, now let's go back and see.
I mean, like if it was like a regular TV series, it's only on once a week.
Yeah.
And only for, so many episodes a year, that would be insane.
Chris Romano is the mascot. He was in nothing since the Blue Mountain State movie. So before that, he was in How I Met Your Mother. He was Romansky.
Yeah.
And then before that, Blue Mountain State. So yeah, he hasn't been in much, which is unfortunate because he was definitely funny as fuck.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who else might have been somebody? The little short guy, James Cade.
Well, there's one guy. There was a quarterback. I can't think of his name, but he joined the team. I've seen him in, like, he was even in the movie Meg and Meg 2.
James Cade was the kicker. He's been in quite a bit of shit, but none of it's really. Then a couple episodes of Designated Survivor.
I think his name was Faison or something like that.
Yeah,
But he's been in a lot of things. He was even in an episode of My Name is Earl.
I'm surprised not more people actually did shit after that. There's always those weird, like, movie or TV shows that seem to be like career enders for everyone in a weird way. I wonder what makes that happen.
I don't know. I always wonder that too. Because there's some people you see in shows and you're like, they're really good in that. You'd think they'd be in something else. But sometimes a TV series, it's hard to get out of that and do something else.
Yeah.
So when you actually see somebody do a successful TV series and to get another successful TV series, that's impressive.
Not just that, but like it seems to be a weird barrier between like TV and movies.
Yeah. It used to be bigger.
Like, why? What started that? I don't understand. Like, if they're good actors, just put them in shit. Like, I know they have to audition, but.
But see, even at one time, Tom Hanks was on a sitcom before he did movies. And he made the crossover, but not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And he was in a TV show called Bosom Buddies, where him and Peter Scolari, they dressed as women so they could get into this apartment building because they only had women living in the apartment, so they had to act like women in the apartment.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Yeah, like I said, it's called Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, like it's a weird. Like you said, it seems to be getting less because it's whoever wants to be in shit now, and like Apple has its own studios, Sony has its own, Amazon, Netflix, like everybody has their own fucking studios.
Well, sometimes now it's like somebody could be in a movie and then they go to TV.
Yeah.
And that used to be unheard of.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you stepping down? Was kind of the way it was looked at.
Well, because now, I think I was talking about it a little bit last week of there used to be such a big fucking like money side on the back end of movies.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen much anymore. So like they would do like, hey, here's $10 million to make the movie. You might hit like 2 or 3 million in box office, but you're going to get probably 20 million on the back end with DVD sales, with rentals, with this, with everything. And now, a month after it's fucking in theaters, you can buy it or it's on a streaming service. So there's not much back end, which is also part of why the writer's strike happened, was because the studios were taking like 99% of the back end, or the streaming companies, So there's no incentive to do like the random like, hey, here's a script idea, and you have a couple buddies do it and like have a friend produce it, because it'll probably make money and it's a pet project.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of thing anymore. Like, it all has to be the same fucking like massive action movie of ooh.
But I mean, look at like at one point, Alec Baldwin was in a lot of movies,
A lot.
and then he did 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And I love 30 Rock. He was great on 30 Rock. I loved him on that show.
I think I saw the first season.
I saw them all. I watched them more than once.
That's Tracy. What's his face?
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, he gets on my nerves in a weird way.
I like him on there.
Like, he's funny, but it's a funny I can take in little pieces.
Yeah. I like him on that show a lot.
It's like Aziz Ansari.
I don't want any part of it. No.
Exactly. But that's like Tracy Morgan. Like, he has his own like weird style of funny.
Yeah.
That isn't for everyone.
But to me, on 30 Rock, it works and it's so well.
Yeah. No, it's
Tina
good.
Fey.
I
I love everything about that show. That whole cast. I think it's great. But one thing I will say about Alec Baldwin, I heard him on Howard Stern once, and he was talking. He was like, "Yeah, the dream job I want, easy job, game show host." He's like, you just roll in, you do a week's worth of episodes, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And he actually, he was on some game show for a little while. And I thought that was funny because they probably heard that he wanted to do it from the Howard Stern show, and were like, let's offer it to him if he really wants to do it.
I mean, that's how a lot of stuff goes too. Is like networking, just like anything else, is a massive part of it. But like, a lot of people like write a script for this actor, and then they'll like send it over to their agent, like, hey, show it to him, like, see what he says, whatever.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, yeah or no, then they're like, oh, fuck, now we have to open auditions and do this and do this. But like, one of the ones that's, I think, the coolest was, I can't remember his name either, The Force Unleashed, the video game for Star Wars.
Yeah, I like that game.
Star Killer, the character they made, the main character.
Yeah.
They had concept art out, and like, this is what we want everybody to look like. So that was getting passed around, and this guy's agent, I'm gonna have to look up his name because it's bothering me, but this guy's agent saw it and he goes, "You're kidding me, right? Like, this is a joke?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, this is what this guy looks like exactly what he looks like." And he's like, "No." So he takes it to him, like, shows him the concept art and shows him everything, and like he's a big Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
So he goes to audition for the part that looks exactly fucking like him. And I think he got it because of they had some question about something, and he just like nerded the fuck out in the audition.
Yeah.
Of like, he tripped out and like started getting super angry and like trying to like get frustrated with using the Force kind of stuff in the audition. And they're like, "This is amazing." Like, okay, yeah, you have it.
I like him in that. I like that game. I like everything about it pretty much. But I was going to say about Alec Baldwin, though. He was asking him about different movie roles he had. And he's like, has there ever been a movie you were up for where you're like, oh, I could have done that better, or I don't think I could have done it better?
Sam Witwer.
And he mentioned that Goodfellas. He's like, no, there's no way I could have done better than what Ray Liotta did in that movie. So he was like, so it's probably best that he got it because he was up for that same role, I guess.
Yeah, his name's Sam Witwer. Apparently he's gonna be in Ahsoka. Nice. As Star Killer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's, you know what Star Killer looked like.
Yeah.
That's
him. Yeah.
They didn't do that on purpose.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's strange to think, speaking of Ray Liotta, that the last movie he ever did, Cocaine Bear.
That was a weird movie.
It was interesting.
I finally watched it.
I watched it.
It was a weird movie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like it a lot. It was odd.
There were some brutal moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were some people that definitely died in it that I did not think were going to die in it. Yeah.
That's Ray Liotta. Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yeah, he was in that.
Great fucking movie.
I actually haven't seen that one.
What?
Yeah.
That was a really good fucking movie.
I haven't seen it.
It was Dennis Leary, Ray Liotta.
Was Danny Glover in that one too?
Danny Glover, yep.
Yeah. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I think there was like one or two more like pretty big names.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hilarious movie. Gotta watch it.
There's a Simpsons episode where he's got the Operation Dumbo Drop jacket. And he's like, you can see because they use the same D for both Dumbo and Drop. That was a selling point of the jacket.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was the group from the old, from the retirement home, the one that Abe Simpson lives in, and that was their thing. They wore the movie jackets.
Why is it so hard to look this up on the... Christ. I typed in Operation Dumbo and it's not coming up on IMDb.
That's weird.
Because it was already scrolled down in the search list.
Oh.
That's retarded. That's only a 5.2 out of 10. We had Danny Glover, Ray Liotta, Dennis Leary, Dougie Doug, and Corin Nemec. And then it goes off to all the
But they
people.
already had a movie where they were transporting an elephant, but they did it in a semi. They didn't drop it.
What movie was that?
Smokey and the Bandit 2.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, you should see the Smokey and the Bandit movies. Not the third one. You can skip that one, but the first two, yeah.
I haven't seen any of them.
Like I said, you should watch the first two. Not the third one, but the first two.
Okay.
Burt Reynolds at his finest.
I'll add it to the list of maybes. There's a bunch of other ones that I found recently. I think there was some series.
I always loved that Trans Am in that movie.
That was the one with the
And the bird on it.
massive fire chicken on it. Yeah.
That's what we used to always call firebirds, but
Yeah.
fire chickens.
It was an iconic car. Like, I know about the series, the movies, and whatever,
Yeah.
but...
Oh, that was the car.
Yeah.
They actually took, there was a company that took the newer Camaros and converted them to be a Trans Am.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that they made, Burt Reynolds put an autograph in them.
Wow.
I was so jealous. I was like, oh my God, I want that. Because I think Burt Reynolds was, like when I was growing up and you see movies with him, he was the epitome of being cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
He went to TV.
Yeah. He did a show Evening Shade.
He's still doing Blue Bloods.
No, he's dead now.
Am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, you might be thinking of somebody else. Burt Reynolds he passed away.
They have the same mustache.
Yeah. You're thinking of Tom Selleck.
Yep, that one.
Yep. But he was also Magnum.
The two mustaches of Hollywood.
Magnum PI. He was the original Magnum before the one they have out now.
Yeah.
Which I've seen part of it. I'm not.
That's the same as they redid MacGyver, and that's, like, that start taking shit that missed the mark and redo that.
Yeah, because Magnum didn't need to be redone. Magnum was really good.
Yeah.
The one with Tom Selleck was really good.
Like, Knight Rider was pretty good, but that might be able to be better with the new tech now and everything.
Yeah.
They could actually make, like, a good Spy Hunter series now.
Yeah.
That would be fucking great. Those video games were amazing.
I think pretty much anybody could be better than David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked back and I've seen some of the episodes and thought,
They're cheesy, corny, not great.
And when one of the episodes when I saw him actually driving the car in lava. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
that's Time Trap? I think one of them's called Time Trap. It had Darian Lambert in it.
Yeah.
Really fucking good. Like, they could redo that.
Well, they did make a movie out of Baywatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take The Rock over David Hasselhoff.
I don't think I watched it.
Oh,
if I did, I was almost sleeping.
I didn't pay for it or anything. I just streamed it.
There's something I remember about, like, Mission Impossible or a very similar movie series that I've really enjoyed growing up, and I don't know what it is. Because like, I've rewatched the first 3 Mission Impossibles. It's not the movies with Tom Cruise.
See, I haven't watched any of those.
It's not the original Mission Impossible series, So I don't know what I'm remembering about Mission Impossible that was amazing.
I'm a James Bond guy.
James Bond was great.
Yeah.
But there was something, I know I had a couple Mission Impossible games from the Super Nintendo. So like that might be bleeding over into the movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
But there was something that was like Mission Impossible Spy Hunter style that was really enjoyable growing up.
Triple X.
I don't know what the fuck it is. It's definitely not the same. Triple X was great.
I like the first one. You know, in the beginning of it, there's that bridge that he drops the Senator's Corvette off of. One of my trips to Yosemite, we drove on the top of that bridge and underneath that bridge.
Huh.
It's in California. It's a tall fucking bridge. That thing is fucking huge.
I think that would be an awesome fucking trick to do.
They're not buffing that one out. That's. We didn't launch any cars off of it. Not across it. We were on our way to Yosemite.
You missed your chance.
I know. I should have done it.
Missed your chance.
I could have parachuted out of a convertible. If I had a convertible. Or if I could have taken a senator's convertible. There's senators in California that probably own convertibles that I could have taken.
Yep. No, speaking of that, one of them just died.
Which one?
Feinstein.
Oh, yeah. She was around forever.
Yeah. But I don't think we talked about it on here. So I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been somebody from Texas. Just retired from the Senate or House or whatever the fuck, one of the governmental properties. And I think he was like 70 or 73.
Yeah.
And they're like, like, why did you retire? He goes, because like I've been doing this a long time. It's not me or any of us that are this old that should be making choices for tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're like, so is this a call to your fellow senators and this and that to have them retire too? He goes, I'm not telling them they have to.
But maybe they should
I
consider
think they
it.
should, because we're not going to be around for our choices to come to fruition. So it's not us that should be making these fucking choices anymore.
I agree.
And I was like, holy shit, put him back in.
Yes. Yeah. But there's running for Congress. I've talked about it before. In Texas, I want to move to Texas just so I can vote for him. Brandon Herrera.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. And he came out. He said, no, I plan to do one term. This is not a career for me. I am not a career politician.
Yeah.
I want to go in there, get things done and move on. He's like, I don't plan to go above it. I plan to just go in there, do this. I don't plan, he's like, this should not be your career. You should not be a career politician.
Well, and it didn't used to be.
No, it didn't
it
used
to be.
You used to have another job.
You have your civil service or civic duty, whatever the fuck. And then you're trying to help everything get better. Like small town mayors or small town fucking this and that. Like you often have another job or another something. You just want to see your area, your town get better.
You would do it on weekends or on, That's why they have short periods that they vote for. But now it's their whole job, and they still only have those short periods.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think we need to redo stuff. Start back at a small level, and then maybe grow it.
Well, that was the thing, is when the system was set up, it was set up that if it's not working, we redo it.
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose of it.
Well, and there's a couple sentences built in there about redoing it, but if you fail, it's illegal.
Yeah. Well, it's like they say, history's written by the winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a cool web series on YouTube where they talk about how different things are taught in the different countries. Like, how is World War II taught in Germany? How is World War II taught in Japan?
I think that would be a cool thing to see, like, every side of.
Yeah. And you can see they have it all on YouTube. The guy has a series on it. It's pretty cool.
I might have to watch that a little bit this week.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
'Cause that's
in between watching what you're normally watching.
I think history has been a growing interest for me. Like, it's always been kind of an interest, but it's been more of a growing interest of, like, whether it's ancient stuff or like just.
Well, a lot of it is when I took history classes and you learn what they teach you then you find out later on that, you didn't really teach us what really.
Well, not
there's
just
a lot of what you didn't let us in on.
Not just that. When's the last time they've updated history books? I mean, like I haven't
Well, I
gone
don't
in
know.
and audited a fifth grade fucking history class, but like it seems like they don't update the history books.
Like there was a time when I was in school and the history books didn't go very far. And then it was like by the time I got to a certain grade, I could see like presidents that were more current.
Yeah. But I mean, like they would maybe go as far back as like Columbus, because like that's the start of America. But often they wouldn't go further back than that. Like definitely not teaching people about like the Dark Ages, Middle Ages,
Yeah.
like anything previous. Like maybe
See, the things we
a
would learn about,
chapter on
because we had
Egyptian.
history class and we had social studies. And social studies is where we would learn about Rome and Greece and all of that, the history of that.
How would that be in social studies? That's
I don't know,
fucking
but that's
backwards.
what it was. But that's what we learned. But yeah, we learned about a lot of those different things.
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
The Roman Empire,
I learned
Caesar,
a little bit,
and
but
how Caesar
definitely
got stabbed.
not much.
But no, not as much detail as I've learned some things about since.
Yeah,
That's what makes me say, it's like they leave a lot of it out and they just kind of go by the popular.
I think they do that on purpose because of this is a very unpopular opinion, but because it's easier to have people follow in line when you control the narrative, when you limit knowledge, when you do all of that. Like that's the same reason that the Romans went around and burned every knowledge center during the Roman Empire rule.
Yeah.
Was because people that are intelligent
Well, you control
can
information.
fight back. Yeah, you control information, you control people.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing as like it's
But-
starting to go kind of the opposite way a little bit because people are like reading more of like the original Hebrew Bible or this or that. But it's still a lot of it is based off of the King James version of the Bible, who King James was the one who said what was in it.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wanted his
He's
people
a
to
person.
read.
Yeah.
And not so like all these Dead Sea Scrolls that are that's not part of who chose. It was a king in England that chose what to put in it. Like even if you're reading the original Hebrew text, you're still reading the contents of what
He wanted
they put in what year was that, like 1300?
Yeah.
900, some shit. Of that's where they were.
But I'm talking like in elementary school all the way through high school, you learn about the Civil War. What's the cause of the Civil War? Slavery. But there was actually more involved in it than just that. There was other economic factors. There was a lot going on. Yes, slavery was a huge portion, but there was more.
Yeah, but especially if you start bringing anything of that up. Oh, you're a racist bigot and you supported the South and you're a fucking Confederate. Like, try getting into a conversation about the Civil War with fucking almost anybody now. It's wild.
Yeah. No, I'm not in favor of the South. No, I'm not a Confederate. No, the South will not rise again. And no, I will never drive around with a Confederate flag on anything.
Unless it's the, what was it, the GTO?
The General Lee.
Yeah, the General Lee.
Yeah, that was a Charger.
That was a Charger?
Yeah.
What movie am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Huh. They demolished a lot of fucking cars for that
Yes,
series.
they did.
An unfortunate amount of cars.
Yeah. Yeah, but they because cars aren't supposed to jump.
No,
No.
not at all.
That's
Have you seen pictures of how they used to deliver cars by rail car?
No.
It's wild. So they have the cars come in. If you're listening on Spotify, you're just gonna have to use your imagination. So they would have the rail car park, and then they'd have ramps that come up to it from both sides, and you drive the cars up like nose to nose.
Yeah.
And then like you lock them in, and then the doors would fold up. So they're shipping the cars up and down on the train. So like they make the car, drain it of all the fluid, push it up,
Yeah.
and then up and down until it gets to its destination, lower the ramps back down, and then push them off, and then deliver them.
Wow.
They look fucking great. I'll have to find a picture.
I remember when I was selling cars, they had like I would see like a Dodge Dart show up, and you would see like foam on the side of it, like on the wheels and stuff like that, kind of like it was a flat screen TV, and they did not have fluids in them. Because people are like, no, I want a car that has 0 miles on it. I'm like, well,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
no, because we have to put oil in it and run it through.
Yeah, so that one you see, like the one side's already folded up, and this side has the fucking ramps all the way on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is cool. But I saw, because there was a BMW dealership right next to us. I don't remember what the model of the car is, but it's a sports car. It's an electric BMW sports car. It is a cool fucking car.
The i8?
Possibly. Sure it is.
Is it the one that's like silver, blue, a little bit of black, and like the sleek? Yeah, it's the i8.
Yeah, but I saw one of those getting delivered to the BMW, and they had, like, most of the cars are on a trailer, and you see a bunch of them on there. You'll see them all the time. No, not this. This came in, it was almost like a crate, like, pods when they move people.
Yeah.
And when they pulled this thing out, it literally was like unpacking a flat screen TV. This thing was covered in styrofoam. It was nuts. But I was kind of jealous because I really wanted that car. I was like, that is awesome.
I remember the first time seeing it at SEMA. It was fucking great.
So cool.
The line to take a ride in it was unbelievably long.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna fucking try.
Oh, it's such...
cut past people to like, oh, just look at it up close, and I just walked off.
I remember when I was working at the Mercedes dealership, we had this car in the back, and it was clearly for racing. You could tell it because it was a BMW, but like the seats were taken out, it had a roll cage.
Mm-hmm.
It was solely for racing. It was not for. And I always wondered. I'd said to somebody, I'm like, do they realize there's a BMW dealership across the street? I'm not getting work done on it, but they're doing it with the Mercedes. But apparently the person had worked there, and they knew somebody or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how it is, like.
But it was in the shop a lot.
If I'm not gonna work on something, or like if I have friends that do whatever, they often don't take it to the dealership. They'll take it to either a buddy or like if they work at a shop, it's one of their pet projects, so they just have it in the shop.
But it was there a lot. But that reminds me, I used to find interesting things there. Like one of the cars I was washing, I pulled it in the garage and I looked down. Actually, I saw it when I first got in the car. Right in the door, you could see the holster with a gun in it. Just sitting there right in the car.
Yeah.
And a knife in the holster also.
I normally make sure that those are not in the car if I take it somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I want them to.
Well, the next time I watch that same car,
in my possession.
The next time I watched that car, it was not in there. He definitely took it out, but he had his valve stem covers. They look like 45 casings, which I thought was fucking cool. But then somebody else, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She had her car was in the shop for a long time, and I would walk by it all the time. And I looked through the window one day; it was there for more than a month. And when I started, it had been there for a while. But then when I was working there, it was there for a month. I looked in the back seat, laying right in the back seat, wide out in the open. There's a Glock sitting on there.
Wow.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Huh.
It's like if I wanted to commit a crime.
Yeah.
I got a whole box of rubber gloves. I just go, it's going to be your prints on it.
Yeah.
Good thinking. Maybe don't leave something like that laying around.
There's not a lot of... People can be less than intelligent.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm going to say it again. There is no such thing as common sense.
But a lot of it also is, like, you don't think about it. So, like, the Kansas airport is, like, at the front of it, like, when you walk in before you get to security, it says, "Are you sure you don't have anything in your bag?" And, like, you walk past, like, 6 signs like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a whiteboard with Polaroid pictures of everything that they've taken, like, from people's bags. It's like, Kansas, you can just carry guns around with you and do whatever. So, like, there's a lot of people, oh, fuck, I forgot I had that in my bag, and I'm going on a flight. I feel like is most of it. Like, they've confiscated a couple grenades, but, like, guns, rifles, massive knives, like, maybe just, like, everyday, like, it's with me, country life kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that don't think about it, of, like, what am I doing? Where am I going?
There's some well-known people who have gotten in trouble for trying to walk on an airplane with a gun. There was a coach in the NFL, coach for the Dallas Cowboys. got in trouble for trying to. Yeah, he had a gun on him, and he went to get on an airplane. It was like in his carry-on luggage. That's a no-no.
Yeah, I mean, like Texas, it's almost an understandable.
Well, he hit most of his career as a coach. Like in college, he was a coach at OU. You're the Sooners, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that. I know that because they used to be the rival of Nebraska. They used to play the last game of the year, day after Thanksgiving every year.
Huh. But yeah, that like a lot of that seems like a fairly. Oh yeah, it's just like part of everyday life.
Yeah,
and then
you need to have somebody there being like, "Listen, don't do this."
Yeah.
But also keep in mind this. Every once in a while, I've been in Walmart, and you hear a voice come across the intercom saying, "Hey, did you bring your kid in?" Basically, that's what they're saying is.
Yeah.
If you have a kid, maybe go out there and make sure you don't have it in the back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, because there was a couple times that like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna get ready for a trip and do whatever. I'm like, I haven't used this bag in a while, backpack,
yeah,
duffel bag, whatever the fuck it is, and I'll go through it, and I'm like, I'm really glad I checked. Like there was 2 magazines for my Glock in there or whatever, the SIG. Like there's 2 magazines in there and a knife. I'm like, I'm really glad I checked before I went because you don't know the last time you used this fucking bag or what was in it, or like I'd taken it to the range, I guess.
Yeah.
So like check your shit before you go somewhere.
See, when I was flying from here to Denver to Omaha, this guy in front of me in security, they're opening his shit and he's got all these tools and I'm like, yeah, you can't. Do you want us to ship this? No, just throw them out.
Or you can probably check it.
Yeah, I could have done that or shipped it. One or the other. Nah, just throw it out. Got anything else here? Oh, nothing. Just some bottles of wine.
Yeah, I think you told me about that.
They're more than 3 ounces.
Throw it all out.
Just throw it out. I just couldn't believe all the stuff he was having to throw out. I remember one of the trips I was on, we were talking to the shuttle driver, and they're like, so do you get a lot of tips and stuff? And he's like, well, every once in a while somebody will be on there and they'll realize that they have something in their bag that they're not supposed to have. So he's like, yeah, I've gotten some bottles of scotch, some bottles of wine given to him. Which I thought that was kind of cool.
That's great. I mean, especially if you're a shuttle driver, like you can kind of hustle that shit too of like, hey, make sure you check your bag for anything that can't get through TSA.
Yeah.
And, oh, fuck. Like, what can I do with it? I would be more than happy to take that for you.
Yeah. Oh, that 12-year-old scotch? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I
if you insist.
Twist my leg, twist my arm, you know.
Twist your leg.
Yeah. Either or. Twist something. That was bad.
Give him the hole.
Well, I was going to mention, I thought of this because I mentioned about the Dodge dealership I worked at. In Vegas, there's apparently on Gibson, there's a dispensary. And it's called The Dispensary.
Yeah.
And I get these emails from them sending me a verification code. And I'm like, I'm not in Vegas.
Weird.
I'm not shopping at a dispensary. And I'm not going 8 hours to fucking shop at a dispensary.
Yeah.
So, and then yesterday I get one asking me what my shopping experience was like.
Maybe somebody's using your phone number for rewards points.
And I'm like, I don't want that to happen anymore. I sent them an email. I haven't gotten a response. Maybe they'll send me a coupon.
Every once in a while, like, I'll get random, like, authorization codes for whatever. And I'm just like, delete, report spam, or, like, just whatever to, like, so if someone's expecting it and if they have access to my email, because, like, I have pushed, like, as soon as I get an email, like, normally I'll look.
Yeah.
Of, like, I'll delete it and, like, depending on what it is, I'll go change my password for that site.
See, I don't think these people are getting the email because I have, like, 5 of them in a row.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they'd gotten one of them, they wouldn't need the other 4.
Yeah. No, I've never gotten that many in a row. Normally it's 1. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't click through that email. Does anybody listening? If you don't click through the fucking email on your computer, go to the site and change your password. Don't click on the fucking email.
Yeah. Because there's a chance it's phishing.
Yeah. There's a pretty fucking easy way to get people's information doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to mimic a website
Well, that's like I was saying. I keep getting these emails lately telling me how my different subscriptions are expired, but out of the kindness of the heart, they'll give me a free 90 days.
Yeah, just click here to log in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Netflix.
I've
Disney,
gotten a couple from Netflix, and it's after I already canceled it. I'm like, yeah, you're real.
Disney, Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime. I think I got one for Peacock today or Paramount. They're just hitting every one of the subscriptions, thinking maybe we'll get them on one of these.
It works on people. That's why it keeps happening.
But I know how Netflix and Prime and them work. They don't just expire. I mean, if you don't pay them anymore, yeah, you don't have it anymore. But they don't offer you 90 free days for the privilege.
Yeah, come back and we promise we'll no. If that was the case, I would be rocking some free fucking 3-month subscriptions of everything.
Yeah. I do like Netflix. One thing I like about Netflix is that I actually went on HBO Max or Max yesterday saying, maybe you guys ought to look at this because like you go onto it, it says recommended for you.
Uh-huh.
And I scroll through this and I'm like, okay, why is this recommended for me?
There's a lot that's dumb on Max.
And the thing is it's not, I don't think it's recommended for me. I just think they have shit that they want everybody to watch. Yeah. So they just recommend it to everybody.
Yep.
But there's some children's shows on there I'm not going to fucking watch. There's a lot of shows on there. I'm like,
I don't know that I've had it recommend any kids shows.
I don't want to watch this. But there's some shows that they do. Like, and I'm like, well, why don't you do it like Netflix, where it's, if you're interested, you can put like. If you don't like it, you put dislike.
Yeah.
And then you can get better recommendations for your subscribers.
Yeah, because you can add stuff to your list, but you can't really. It also bothers me that none of them have figured out that you can like put a watched or unwatched shit yet.
Yeah.
Netflix did for, I think it was like 6 months that you could mark watched, and now it's gone. It's like, there's a lot of shit that I'm like, this looks really interesting. And maybe it was enjoyable, but super mediocre. And I don't remember until I'm like 20 minutes into it. I'm like, fucking watch this one back. Watch this one back.
I remember when I first did Netflix, though, I thought their algorithm was amazing because you'd go through and go, all right, like this, don't like this, like this. And then when it'd have the recommendations, I was like, that's fucking great. They're nailing it. Yeah. I love all this shit.
But now they're pushing their own fucking Netflix studio original shit.
Now it's not working for shit. Now it's like recommending things. And sometimes I'll go on some of these subscriptions and I'm like, oh, really? You're recommending something I put in my list? Huh, I wonder how you got that fucking idea. Good thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I watch the show Community. I'll go back to it every so often just because I love that fucking show.
Yeah, it's really good.
You probably don't need to recommend it to me since I've watched it straight through more than one time on your service. Maybe you could just be like, yeah, we know you like it. We don't need to recommend it.
They also used to have a watch again on almost every service, and I feel like that's kind of fallen off too.
Like Max, they don't need to tell me, you should watch The Sopranos. Wow, that's weird because I watched it on your fucking service.
Yeah.
That should tell you I probably like it.
Yep. It keeps popping up on like one of the tops on mine too. My account on yours.
Yeah.
I think I've watched it all on yours. And I've watched it like 2 or 3 other times too. Like that's.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've noticed, but my icon on there is Tony Soprano. Yeah. So there's a good chance I like it.
Yeah.
It actually used to be my ringtone. I also I had the Halloween theme song as a ringtone at one point.
I kind of think of what that one sounds like. I don't know that I've ever seen.
It's creepy.
An
as
entire
it's
one of those.
It's one of the early on slasher movies. Like that was made before Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Michael Myers was the first one, and
that's apparently.
And I watched it when I shouldn't have been watching it.
Talking about like missing small town shit and like a lot of stuff. There's been Facebook listens. There's been a lot of articles of like the 8 or 10 like top towns in Georgia that you have to go to that are like look like just like out of a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
For either Christmas or Halloween or like this or that. Like I might have to come up with a list of like the South and Midwest and a couple other places of like little towns to fucking go to that are just seem dope as fuck.
I want to do a list of towns that you might want to avoid because they look like they're out of movies like Children of the Corn.
I'm sure there's those lists, and now you're gonna get it because you said it out loud.
Yeah, yeah. But I actually saw some videos where people are showing some towns. They're like, yeah, these are the worst towns in the country, and they show these towns, and it's like, holy shit.
Huh.
Like, there's a couple towns in California. Like, it's not, am I going to get robbed? It's when am I going to get robbed, and how often?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some places in California apparently I would like to avoid living in. Actually, there's
all of California.
Oh, it's goodness. Yeah, there's a. It spans from all the way from Oregon down south.
Yeah.
I've been to Oregon. Oregon's beautiful.
There's a lot of places in Cali that are beautiful.
Oh yeah, Yosemite's beautiful.
But there's a lot in Cali that isn't beautiful.
Yosemite's one of my favorite places in the entire world.
I don't know if I've ever been.
Oh,
if I have,
amazing.
I was super little.
The valley floor is amazing. That's where I was the first time, and the last couple times I was at May Lake. It's just like the everything's like granite is not that high anywhere else in the world. Like granite does not stack up as high as it does there. It's like these mountains are made out of granite, and that's an anomaly. That is not.
I'm
common.
not a geologist.
Well, I besides going there, I've also watched shows about it because it's fascinating. Like El Capitan, people travel from all over the world to climb this sheer rock face. You can actually look up at it and you see, because you'll take a break in between climbing, and you bracket in your sleeping thing, and you're just hanging there sleeping on this cot like thing hanging from the side of this.
Heights don't bother me, and I think I would enjoy getting into rock climbing, but I don't know that I'd ever be able to do that because I turn and toss and like everything in my sleep. So unless it's like
you'd have to be strapped into
the spacesuit jump bags, that's just like up and down and just like hang me by my collar.
But you take your binoculars and you can see the spots where they're up there, and it's crazy tall, and it's well known. Like it's one of the top mountain climbing things for people to go to. Yeah, like I said, people go from all over the world to climb El Capitan. There was one instance where somebody was, which it's illegal to do. So anybody who's listening to this who's thinking, I want to go do this now because I heard it on this, don't do it. They decided to go base jumping off El Capitan.
Why is that illegal? That sounds amazing.
Well, but it's illegal. Base jumping off of bridges and things. I don't make the laws. I'm just telling you, it's illegal. So this person, she was jumping off, and like her husband was taking the pictures of her going down. Well, she didn't make it. Like you could see it in the San Francisco Chronicle, like these different pictures from different points of her going down.
The chute just didn't open, or
the chute just didn't open.
Wow.
Yeah. See, that's why it's illegal. Plus, you see, if your chute doesn't open, and there's a good chance people down below don't know you're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look up. I mean, it's not like in Futurama when Bender's falling from a long distance and he's yelling, "Somebody fat, get underneath me."
That I know it wouldn't be pretty, but just the difference from like if a rock fell from that high and hit somebody to a person fell from that high and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Would it have the same effect?
I don't know. Sometimes they actually have, because they have these spots. You'll see where these rocks are like they have a dome to them because of the way they break and they fall off. And some of them, when they do fall, it's a big deal. Like it causes it'll register on a Richter scale.
Huh.
So I'm thinking if one of those lands on you.
Well, yeah, no, like if a rock lands on you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like if a person lands on you, you're probably dead also. But like the impact and after effect of it. Would you have to pick someone up with a scraper from a person hitting you as well as a rock?
Well, the thing is, you might actually have to
pull the two people apart.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. I was just trying to find a sensitive way to say that. You might have to actually pull the people, because you're going to want to identify who's who.
The original way of doing the Vulcan mind meld.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, don't base jump off of El Capitan.
Or off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Which, I saw a crazy shot. They were talking about the Golden Gate Bridge, how they paint it. They'll start at one end. They'll be doing all the painting stuff. And by the time they get to the other end, they're going back to where they started, and they're starting again. Like they're constantly painting it.
Because of the corrosion?
Yeah, that, and it's a big bridge. But this guy was talking about how he goes there every day and he paints this bridge and talks about how multiple people he knew killed themselves jumping off that bridge. But yet he goes there every day to work to paint that bridge.
I don't
know. I don't think I'd want to be, depending on how good a friend it was, I don't know if I want to be on that bridge painting it every day.
well, sure, but like if somebody drives a car off a cliff, are you going to stop driving?
Maybe off that cliff, near that cliff, maybe. I don't know. But it was just the way he was talking about it.
It's they took away the suicide nets because like if you jump and hit the net, there's like an 80% chance, 90% chance you're climbing the edge of the net and jumping again.
Yeah.
And it cost a lot to upkeep those, so they were just like, okay, we'll just take them down.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, you had the people who wanted to use them as a trampoline.
Yeah.
I did see another one that was an interesting job. It's not the same anymore, but at the Empire State Building, there's that light bulb at the very top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy, his job was to climb up there and
that'd be dope.
Change that light bulb.
I would do that. There's actually a bunch of those of like different radio towers, satellite towers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, not satellites. Yeah. Like different radio towers across the country that need the light bulb replaced like every 6 months.
Yeah, I've climbed up a good distance on one of those TV towers.
There's somebody's job, whose it is, to go around and like replace these 8 or 10, and that's it.
Well, depending on how high they are, because they have in between each one tells you how tall they are. I can't remember how much it is.
But they get paid like $70,000 or $100,000 a year to replace like 8 light bulbs.
See, I didn't even get that high up on one because there was a TV transmitter in Omaha, and I was climbing up a good portion of it, and it got really windy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I eventually went back down, but it was pretty fucking windy.
It's gonna be fucking awesome to climb that.
Well, you see, but I was climbing it. I didn't have what you call safety harnesses or equipment. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, if I got blown off, there was nothing catching me.
Parachute wasn't going to open?
No, parachute was not going to open.
Well, climb stuff safely and don't base jump. We're above over an hour and I have to pee again.
Yeah. Use safety equipment. Not when peeing. Unless you need it. But when you're climbing tall things, use safety equipment. I don't even want to
know what safety equipment would look like when you're peeing. I don't know either. Okay, well, ask Mike what that's like.
Well, Cleveland's show, he had safety equipment because he had an injury falling off the toilet. So he had a roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That show was kind of funny, but like I had higher hopes for it.
I liked it.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Some Offense Intended, Twitter, X, whatever, Some Offense Pod, YouTube.
Comment if you like the Cleveland show.
Comment for whatever. Brandon, comment more than yo.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.